Now here's a job that I've left until last. I've just dry fitted the rocker cover up to the top of the cylinder head to make sure that it went on there and there was no fouling. The job in hand is fitting the new, I don't know if you can see that, the new stainless pins that sit in and lock the rocker shafts in place. I've deliberately put off doing that because I wanted to make sure that everything fitted before I went and pushed those in. And it just gives me a chance to make sure everything's in the right position prior to doing it, and it does look that way. Because once they're locked in place, they're locked in place. So yeah, everything looks good, the holes are through. Bolt holes are clear. These pins, I know they're in very hard because I had to get a friend of mine to extract them because they're quite a force fit. Having said that, that is just okay. So I'm going to start by just tapping it gently with a rubber mallet and just seeing if it'll seat itself in a bit. They should go down quite. I'm not sure how far down they should go. Oh, they should be at least flush with the edge of the machined surface here, because they sit on a seat on top of the head. So unlike this one here, which sits proud, this one should be flush. And I think let's try and protect some of that from a miss. This is a brass drift, so it should be softer than the surrounding metals. Are we going in? Budged an inch. So I don't want to go mental with this. And supporting it's quite tricky. I'd hoped it was going a bit easier than that. Pause for a second. Okay, it took some beating to get these in with the drift. I supported it really well on the wooden blocks. You wouldn't do it just on the bench because there's too much flex in the bench, but with the drift and some real wellying, you know, more than I would ever expect for such a simple component, to push those into their respective slots. So a lot of respect to Richard who managed to get them out, because that was a bastard, a real bastard. So they're now just below the level of the upper casing, so they should sit down flush, but I will dry fit them again just to make sure. I don't know if I mentioned it when I disassembled the engine originally, how loose the cam chain was. I mean, you could literally rattle it, and that was despite the tensioner being at its full adjustment. This is a new chain and it is rock solid. There is a little bit of side movement, which is just normal, but there is absolutely no play in it. You can squeeze it a little bit if you put your fingers in, but it feels really, really good. So well worth. I'm glad I went to the effort and expense of changing that. that's the Honda bond on. Now I've just got to drop it down, put the bolts in, remembering to put the bracket for the cable for the decompressor. Nope, I have forgotten an important part, which is this end plug here. I felt like a right idiot if I'd have torqued that down and left that off. Tappy tappy. Just sit on those pegs. Alright. Now we follow the bolt guide. We have to take these up to 11 Newton meters in a diagonal pattern. I'm going to start by going up to 9 and then I'll bring it up to 11. And I've written out a little guide down here which is out of camera shot with a sequence so that I can mark them off as I go so that I know that I'm doing everything in order. Number 8. Why do you feel nasty? Come on, you're not. Oh, that does not feel good. That does not feel nice. Sugar lumps. That feels like it's about to pull the thread out. I don't know why. What do I do? Oh, why? Let me talk the others up and see what happens. You suspect. I have nothing but trouble with nuts on these. 12. If I have to take it out and helicoil it, that's going to be really annoying. Right, here goes. Is it stripped? Certainly feels it. Or is it just talking? No, it's stripped. It's fucked. Well, that's that then, isn't it? This is the troublesome thread that literally just pulled straight out. And you know what? I have no idea why it did that. No idea. There were possibly a couple of clues that something wasn't right. The first one being that I initially thought it had been helicoiled. In fact, no, that's aluminium. It's not a helicoil. So, and the other thing, reason, oops, turn these up. The other reason I could have possibly thought there was a problem with that thread was the fact that the leak on the cylinder head before I stripped the engine was in this corner here, which would suggest that the previous owner hadn't managed to torque it up to the correct spec, so possibly not clamped down properly here. But the only thing to do now is to helicoil that something I've not done before, but I did buy a helicoil kit the other day for a 6mm. It's sort of an insurance policy against something like this happening. So what I'm going to do is cover all this. I'm not going to pull it all to bits. I'm just going to put tape around all the sensitive areas, cover it in cloth. I'll put the spark plug in, stop any crap going down the plug hole, and I'm going to drill that, and I'm going to attempt to helicoil it.